when you get to know all these different ethnic groups, and you found that lots of ethnic groups, they are in need of their own language services. And I also found that in Canada, bank, insurance company, and telecom company, they really care about ethnic groups. So I think that call center can cater to this field and to begin to do something. I was thinking that maybe we can offshore the telemarketing operations from Canada to India or China or some other Asian countries to make it more feasible and long-lasting for the call center business itself and the cost saving.
A lot of the call center industry fears that AI might actually kind of remove the need for call centers. In terms of language, there is an argument that will AI be able to replace multilingual needs? Will it be able to immediately translate?
AI is around 10% of the cost of manpower. When I say manpower, we're talking about the offshore operations in Philippines, in South America. So a combination of AI and the manpower is the best. And the AI part will have more and more percentage, definitely in the next 1 or 2 years.
Hi, and welcome back to the show. Today, I am joined by Jackie Xu. He is the CEO and founder of Callnovo. Callnovo is celebrating its 20th year in business, so congratulations to them. Jackie is the founder and has built something really, really special. He, as you will learn, is a Chinese national and moved to Canada, and that prompted him to build one of the more dominant multilingual call center operations there are. So it's a fascinating story. I find multilingual and the sort of operational complexity of that really, really fascinating. Certainly, when you had to build this thing 20 years ago when the world was less connected and infrastructure was less seamless. It's a fascinating story and a fascinating business. As always, if you want any of the show notes, go to outsourceaccelerator.com/podcast. Enjoy. Have you heard of Hiring Branch? Hiring Branch is changing the way contact centers hire, helping hiring managers know who can do the job before giving them the job. Creators of the first open-ended AI assessment, Hiring Branch measures language and soft skills, like critical thinking or empathy, in job simulations, making it easy and accurate for recruiters to shortlist candidates, streamline all assessments into one, and improve agent output. This innovative assessment is already being used by over 1,000 recruiters in reputable companies like Bell and other Fortune 500s. Prove better results yourself with their risk-free pilot. Learn more at hiringbranch.com/pilot. That's hiringbranch.com/pilot. Jackie, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Very good. Thank you for having me, Derek.
Jackie, it's great to have you on the show. First of all, why don't you just introduce Callnovo, and then I'm really excited to hear about your journey into the call center industry, and just give us the context of what Callnovo is.
Sure. Yeah, Derek. Callnovo is a technology-enabled multilingual customer service provider. So we provide outsourced customer service solution to many global companies around the world. Our main focus is companies that are going global. When clients are in need of a multilingual solution, they need a one-stop solution. Callnovo is the best choice.
Okay, great. And so, Jackie, what is your journey with this, and your own personal journey? I understand Callnovo has been going over 20 years now, which is something, an amazing achievement in itself. So what got you into this business initially?
Thank you. Derek, the business started from the year 2004. I immigrated to Canada in the year of 2002, and I started Callnovo in the year of 2004. I think the inspiration comes from in those years, voice over IP was just invented and introduced to the market. That's the number one factor. The other factor is that in Toronto, in Canada, it's a multilingual and a multi-ethnic city with a dynamic business environment. So all these elements inspired me to start the business of uh, um, something to get into a global market, a multilingual um, elements into the business, and combining the voice over IP. I think call center business is something interesting and will go through a significant change from those years.
And how did you have insights into the call center industry? It's sort of quite a hidden industry unless you're working in it yourself. Like, what gave you the idea for call centers?
Oh, thank you. I think in those years, in Canada, sometimes uh, we see that people are knocking the door. People were knocking the door to do sales in those years. That's 20 years ago, and 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 I also realized that some companies were using telemarketing to do sales. And I was thinking that maybe we can offshore the telemarketing operations from Canada to India or China or some other Asian countries to make it more feasible and long lasting for the cost in the business itself and the cost saving. So I think that's the main drive in those years.
Got it. And obviously, you have your personal experience with China coming over to Canada, and of course, that sort of multiculturalism. Obviously, you had a far sort of deeper context of what that means, speaking different languages. But in terms of the multilingual call center that you started 20 years ago, was it initially, I can speak Chinese within a Canadian market, I'm going to get Chinese people working for me in China to target Canada market, or was it something much, much broader?
Wow, you asked a very good question, Derek. Thank you. I think this could be one of the reasons because I can speak Mandarin, Cantonese, and also I can speak English. And when we get started with Callnovo, we only provide English and Chinese, Mandarin, and Cantonese, three languages. And we found that in Toronto, the multilingual market it's a big market. There's so many ethnic groups in Toronto, Vietnamese, um, Korean, Italian, German. This it's it's very interesting when you get to know all these different ethnic groups, and you found that um, lots of ethnic groups they are in need of their own language services. And I also found that in Canada, bank, insurance company, and telecom company they really care about ethnic groups. So I think that call center can cater to this field and to begin to do something.
That's fascinating. And VoIP, as you mentioned, was really just an emerging technology then, and offshoring obviously existed, call centers existed, but it was a very nascent, young industry. What were the first steps? Like, obviously, you had contacts back in China, but was it an obvious step to? And is that what happened? Like, did you get Chinese people working for you from China, or did you actually just source people in Canada for, that could speak Mandarin or Cantonese for your service?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, it's because China is my Chinese is my native language, and China was definitely the first step we start Callnovo. So in many early years, from the 2004 to 2009 or 10, those 7 6 years, we really focus on Chinese language a lot. We provide Chinese, Mandarin, and Cantonese customer service and telemarketing from China to clients in North America. It was very successful. Yeah, very successful. And we did a lot of successful campaigns on outbound telemarketing as well as inbound customer service. And we got lots of good clients, and clients really liked our service very much because I can say that in those years it was quite innovative because offshoring to China, serving Chinese North American ethnic groups, it it was quite unique in those years.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and very powerful. Yeah, and as you rightly stated, it's kind of obvious, but maybe not so obvious. But there's a long tail. You're in Toronto, is that correct? Is
Yes,
that
correct.
where? So
Yeah.
there's a long tail of different cultures and languages. Whether it's like Cantonese or Mandarin or German or Italian. An extremely long tail. There's maybe dozens of languages where they're spoken in part. Like, what was it like for you to take the next step of saying, look, like we've identified the big opportunity within the Chinese culture, but we're going to expand. What was that like for you, and what was your next language that you
Oh,
conquered?
a very good question. It was like a milestone for us. In the year of 2012, we got a new client that the client is in need of Chinese Mandarin and the Cantonese language only, and we did very well. And this was a very big client and a very important client, and we put lots of efforts to uh, make the Chinese language operations very successful in China for this North American client. It's a Fortune 500 company, and after 2 years, client really recognized us as a high quality service provider. Uh, Client like Kono very much and added more than 20 languages to us, and for us, it was quite like a challenge to take all these languages, but we realized that this was the trend, and now till today, it is the trend. So we put lots of efforts to build the multilingual team around the world in different countries, and put lots of efforts on the IT facility as well. And we successfully expand our languages from three 4 languages to more than 20 languages in the year 2012. And we successfully helped this Fortune 500 company to reduce the cost, reduce their turnover rate on the operations, and most importantly, the high quality of service delivery yeah, made client very happy. And this Fortune 500 company also introduced another Fortune 500 company to us. And all these two clients, both these two clients are still with us. And yeah, it's been more than 10 years. Yeah. So that was, yeah, really the milestone. I think, yeah, you asked a very good question of our business journey.
Yeah, and I can only imagine that step there really took you out of your comfort zone because, like going back to China is your home, and it's also your culture and your language. Whereas I imagine, having to launch 20, well, whatever, 15 to 20 new languages in foreign cultures for you in foreign languages, that was really sort of a step up in terms of complexity and difficulty.
Yes, correct. Yeah, that was a challenge. And I realized that challenge was a great opportunity for us to transform ourselves into a real multilingual company. So that was the something that we were very proud of.
That's amazing. And back then, of course, it's a lot easier now. The infrastructure has advanced so much, the VoIP, and people don't need offices. But how did you build the infrastructure back in 2012? Did you need offices in each of those locations, or were you able to get people to work from home? What was the general structure?
Yes, I think for contact center, the main element is manpower. So we started to focus on this point, and we did studies on different countries on the economics and political factors, and as well as the internet and many other labor costs and the labor law related policies. And then we started to operate English languages. We moved from India to Philippines, and we focus on Philippines to develop our English call center. And then we also develop our Spanish call center in Bolivia. In Bolivia, currently, Callnovo is the biggest contact center in the whole country because it's a smaller country on population-wise. So yeah, Callnovo, we think we have some advantage because um, English and Spanish, there are not so many competitors there to build call centers. So we select there to build our contact center. So and then we expand to East Europe and many other languages and many other countries. Our main strategy was to acquire a local contact center, or we uh, build a joint venture company structure to get started. And then from our end, we think uh, next step is to build the technology solution, and then we have our US team to build the SaaS platform to enable the global team to get connected and provide a unified communications platform to provide omni-channel contact solution to our clients. So
That's
yeah,
amazing.
it's it.
And
Thank you.
the industry has evolved so much, hasn't it? Because of course, back then it was just phone calls, and now, as you mentioned, everything is omni-channel and
Right.
it's increased in complexity tenfold, hasn't it? But and where are you now as a business? Like how many staff approximately? How many geos do you cover? How many languages? Like what? Paint a picture.
Till now, we have more than 35 operation centers around the world, even including Africa, which was yeah, not popular in those old years, but now it's becoming more and more popular for outsourcing as a destination. So we have 35 operation centers, and we provide more than 65 languages, and we have around yeah 2000 to 2000 to 2500 around this numbers agents around the world, and most of them are office based, and around 10 to 20% of them are home based.
Amazing. And do you obviously, your one of your unique value propositions is multilingual, but would you take on vanilla English clients, or would your pricing not do you not have efficiencies there? If someone just wanted 200 or 500 English speaking agents, would that be something for you, or you would tend not to focus on vanilla kind of operations like that?
Yeah, definitely yes. We see that a lot of clients, although firstly getting started with only one language, for example, English, or maybe only Spanish, or maybe Chinese, is we really welcome clients getting started with one language, even though in the long term wise they still keep the operation as one language. Is definitely perfect, no problem. Um, but for ourselves, we think ourselves our main advantage is multilingual, because when the client they are expanding their market to global market after they sell out their products or services to um, all over the world. They want a one-stop solution so that they don't need to deal with multiple vendors. They don't need to deal with a technology solution provider and a manpower provider as well. So we think we focus in this field as our main um, advantage, and we put more efforts in this field. So when clients start with one language, we very much welcome. If they grow to multilingual, that's where our advantage will show us quickly.
Yeah. No, I can imagine. Can imagine. it's fascinating, isn't it? And again, as the years pass, I imagine in 2004 there was far less demand, certainly within the kind of Toronto locality. But now everything is hyper internationalized, isn't it? And every company wants to be globally. And then, of course, if you sell things globally, then you need to be able to service the customer base. So, is this an exploding industry? Are you seeing sort of an infinite increase in demand for multilingual?
I think the trend is still going this way because nowadays with the internet popularity and also with the globalization itself, although politically we see some trend of anti globalization, but I still think that globalization is the trend. So more and more new companies will coming out, and they will go global because going global is becoming so easy nowadays, unlike 20 years ago. So we will see more and more small companies, new companies, they are going global. So our judgment is that multilingual is um, something we worth putting efforts on and worth putting our resources and the technology solution and the human power, manpower, and our management efforts on.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think that, there are ebbs and flows in terms of the sort of politics of things, but inevitably we are moving toward one globalized economy, aren't we? Just the interlinking and networking of the world and its people and its countries and its trade is profound, isn't it? And, there are sort of populism movements toward, self-sufficiency, but I think inevitably just everything is blending together, isn't it? Whether it's culture, television, trade, commerce, it's all
Right.
globalizing.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
fascinating. And in terms of China, and it's people are talking about this a lot at the moment because, of course, Trump that's just got in, highlights the fact that China exports way more than it imports. And of course, there's a huge demand for Chinese production to connect to the West, whether that's the US or all of those other languages. How do you see the demand in China? And often, I've spoken to many Chinese business people, and a lot of them are stuck on the rails of Amazon to sort of get their products out to the world, but they want to build their own rails. And it's very, very difficult because of the cultural and language differences and things like that. There's a huge opportunity, I assume, to service Chinese businesses as they're sending their products right across the world. Is that sort of already a huge industry, I imagine? Are you involved in that side of the equation?
Yeah, that's perfectly true. Yeah, Derek, I think, yeah, I have to say that you really, really have very good insight into the China part. In China, during the past 5 years, from the year 2008, we quickly and aggressively became the number one multilingual contact center service provider in the whole China market. In China, whenever any brand they sell to customers around the world, no matter they sell their products through Amazon or Shopify store or through many other platforms. They need to have their customer service team in multilingual way. So Callnovo is the number one choice. I wanted to say that in cross-border e-commerce sellers, there are hundreds of brand names on Amazon. They use Callnovo customer service. Yeah, this is something we are proud of. Yeah, it's something very interesting, and it's something we are putting lots of efforts on to make our operations more successful to clients, and the results of the operation more uh, achieving to the higher score to our clients and make the satisfaction level much better for our China cross-border sellers.
No, it's such a value enhancement, isn't it, for all these brands and people that are trying to service their clients globally. Amazing. And we'll get into technology now and also the march of AI. I'm fascinated by that specifically with language and translation. But finally, in terms of there's a long tail, as we've discussed, in terms of language requirements. If you have a client that has 4 or 5 languages that they need, but then there's another 10 where they might get a call once a month. Can you service that where the agent maybe, crosses many different clients and many different scripts, or are they all full-time dedicated staff specific to one client? You know what I mean?
This is something happened to some of our clients, because when they sell their products to around the world, in some markets, especially in US and European market, and then like Spain or German, they get lots of contact volumes. Yeah, but in some other countries, they just get started and they only have only a few contact requests, as you mentioned. So for us, from Callnovo's perspective, we wanted to solve this problem. We want to provide our clients with the best solution and cost-effective solution. What we do is for those small contact volume requests, we will discuss with our clients to use another creative way to solve the problem, which is we use our Hero Dash, a function called call deflection, to deflect the call into messages. And then we use the message to communicate with the customers in those small languages that have very small contact volumes. And then in message, we use the large language model, ChatGPT, to translate. So in this way, client, they accept that. They think this is creative, and this does not occur high cost to them. So it's something, we are currently providing, and the client, many of them are very happy with this solution.
That's a fascinating solution as well, actually. And like, we're going to get into your tech platform that you've actually built out for all this. But I suppose a segue question is, do you think people now prefer still being on a phone call, or do they, if given a choice, do they actually prefer just texting? Personally, I think I would rather text, as long as I have someone competent and capable on the other end of the text message. How are you seeing that part of the industry play out in terms of preferences?
Yeah. To me, personally, I think I was tending to use text message or any other type of message more and more these years, and I see this is the trend that is going on around the world, no matter in North America or Europe or in Asia, even China. Yeah, even in South East Asia, it's same. But still, a phone call is a channel that we have to keep, because they are still like, we can say that people senior, they like to use phone call, and also some special occasions. Phone call can make problems being solved more quickly. So I think the trend is that there are less and less calls, but still you have to keep that channel.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And, it's interesting, isn't it? Because if everyone's happy on texting, generally you can have higher volumes go through text. It's cheaper to service. It's easier to service with the technology. So if everyone's happy with that, it's actually a better solution for everyone, isn't it? It's amazing how technology
Yeah.
has evolved. So anyway, so you have, you've not only built this incredible operation across, multiple languages and geos, but you've gone and built your own platform. There's a lot of platforms out there, and, reading between the lines, it's because of the emergence of omni-channel, and you're getting texts and messages and calls from everywhere, and you need to kind of contain that into one centralized thing. But there's also a lot of existing products out there that do it. So what was your thought process behind building your own platform? And can you just take us through the timeline? When did you start on that, and how did that go?
Yes, sure. Thank you for asking. Derek, we started to build our own platform from 5 years ago. And during the past 5 years, we put lots of special features that are very useful for multilingual global team management. So I can say that our platform, Hero Dash, it's a platform that very much useful and powerful for BPO companies like us ourselves because we were in this field or we have been in this field for 20 years and we know all the pain points of a global multilingual team management. We know the stress, we know the challenges. So in Hero Dash, the BPO management feature is very much wonderful. It's wonderful. I can mention a few of these features. For example, um, remote team, if they no matter they work from home or from office, we have features so that they can punch in, punch out. We can also get screenshots occasionally so that we know what's going on with the agents. No matter where they are sitting on and work on the projects. That's number one. So that's it. We call it Hero Dash Focus. So we make sure the agents have good attendance and they work properly on the screen. So this is number one. Number two, we have lots of clients. They because they are selling their products globally, so they want to collect the voice of customers from the globe. So we use Hero Dash to analyze and get insight into the voice of customers from different countries, so we can give our clients very useful voice of customers insight and reports. Number three, our success manager, for example, yeah, we have just take for example as take an example. Uh, One of our success manager, her name is Kasumi. She knows three languages, including Japanese, English, and Chinese. So she manages more than 20 clients on behalf of yeah, she manages 20 clients on our platform, and her agent number of agents has more than 100, yeah, more than 100 agents, but on 20 different accounts, 20 different clients. If you don't have Hero Dash, if you use other platforms, you don't have a BPO feature. You have to log in and log out, and then re-log in and log out into different client accounts to manage your agents. But on Hero Dash, we make it all in one platform. She can We call it as Sky Eye, so she can view all her projects, 20 projects, more than 100 agents from the Sky Eye on the Hero Dash to see what's going on all these 20 different projects, on the missed call, on the KPI, on the SLA, on the quality assurance. So it's very much efficient and very much convenient. And she can easily manage all these 20 clients and more than 100 agents. Yeah, peace of mind.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. And it is like a freestanding product. Yeah. So people can, I'm on the page now, like people can sign up for the SaaS for the dashboard without necessarily using your services and they can plug in their team into your dashboard. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. We can also allow some of the clients that when they don't want to use a Hero Dash to use as an omni-channel contact platform, they only want the BPO management feature. So we can enable that. When we enable that, we can connect that brand's Zendesk or Freshdesk those data sync into Hero Dash, and we can analyze and give management reports real time, so that when clients are using other omni-channel platforms, Hero Dash technology solution can also do the BPO management very well. Also, some clients may say we don't want the data to be synced into Hero Dash. We just want our omni-channel contact solution to be standalone on Zendesk or Freshdesk or any other platform. Then we can also use our screenshot monitor. We call it Hero Dash Focus to use the AI to analyze the randomly screenshot screens to analyze how is the agent doing. By using this way, yeah, we are able to manage all types of operations at one SaaS.
Because it is a really crowded market, isn't it, in terms of the CRM aspects of this? But obviously, you've really tailored this product to the multilingual need, and then because of course it needs everything with these omni-channel. I don't even know what you would call it, but sort of a call center SaaS. They inevitably every company would have a CRM that it would need to integrate with and play nicely with. And then you've also got to integrate and play nicely with all of the different channels. Yeah. So all the messenger apps and, to also sort of integrate with Facebook and LinkedIn and things like that. Like there's a lot of integration complexity, is there?
Yes, yes. We have integrated ourselves to Amazon Seller Central, Shopify, WhatsApp, Facebook, yeah, Twitter, X, yeah, KakaoTalk, Line. So all these channels are very important to us when we provide multilingual customer service total solution to our clients. So we want our clients have peace of mind so that they don't need to bother to purchase from other vendors on technology solution or manpower solution.
Mhm. What would be really cool is if, because there's a lot of companies that have their own in-house call center or user team, but they only ever really master one language. It's typically English or whatever language they're based in. It'd be cool if they could use this product maybe for free, but then if they have any foreign language requirement, they just use your agents, and they could just flick a switch and then they have multilingual.
Thank you for your suggestion. Thank you. Yeah, it's very creative suggestion to us.
Yeah, because there's people that don't even think that it's possible, or certainly not easily possible. So they go, we'll just sort of stick with our one language. But yeah, it's a fascinating market.
Yeah.
And I mean, how has that experience been? Like in my experience with building, these complex platforms, and it certainly looks pretty, comprehensive. Did it take 10 times longer and cost 10 times more than you ever expected?
It was more complicated than we were expected, but we overcome all these challenges during the past few years. We have to say that's still ongoing because the AI is coming out it's coming in from all aspects. So we are thinking in the future the efforts we were going to put on the Hero Dash platform is going to be more AI first. It will be very interesting to us and very interesting to our clients. For example, we are now developing an AI buddy, and AI buddy is going to be the agent's good friend and good teacher, all the way accompany the agents throughout the whole working process to remind the agents and encourage the agents. Overall, for technology, well, it's harder than we expected, but we are very interested and we are very passionate.
I want to come back to AI. First of all, like with your on the ground experience of communicating with clients, now, again, we come back to omni-channel, but there are so many ways to talk to people. And generally, I find, I'm not sure about the US, but I find, throughout other sort of regions, people don't read their SMS texts anymore. Generally now, that is kind of, you get a lot of junk mail, you get a lot of spam messages in there, and people have a preference, whether it's sort of a Viber or a WhatsApp or a Messenger or WeChat and things like that. And, on the ground, how do clients navigate this? If client, like, do you have to go to the customer where they are using their app, or does the client suggest, you have to use WhatsApp to talk to us, or does it give people the choice of WhatsApp, Messenger, Viber, WeChat, text, call? You know what I mean? Like, how does that relationship work with all of these different platforms? Because all of the platforms as well, they're all closed, aren't they? They're all closed systems. They don't want to sort of be interoperated necessarily.
I think I'm not sure if I get your question, Derek. I think the point here is that for us, uh, we mostly have our clients to give us their current situation in different markets, and we will give them our advice of what channels will uh, they're better to use in this market. For example, in U.S. market, you definitely you need to have a toll-free number or at least a local number, and then you need to have a text message, and you need to have email, and then for WhatsApp or Facebook, it really depends on your business. Some business are really consumer based, so yeah, we think they need to have Facebook and they need to have WhatsApp. But for some customers, they are more prone to business, so we suggest they keep the channels be confined in 2 or 3 ways, so to make it simple. Yeah, well, I'm not sure if I answered your question.
No, no, that makes sense. But would you get a business trying to accommodate everyone and providing WhatsApp and Viber and Messenger, and WeChat because of the end user has different preferences, or would you generally just stick to one messaging medium?
Although Callnovo and Hero Dash, we can connect the brand to customers in more than 10 channels. We usually recommend clients go for maximum top 4 or 5 channels, because when channels there are too many, um, although it's going to be perfect to cover all kinds of scenarios, but the complexity will increase, and then the service may not be taken care so perfectly. If you provide top 4 to 5 channels, uh, that would be for us. Yeah, it's nearly perfect already.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, and then look, toward the end of the show, we generally talk about AI and technology because the whole industry is talking about AI. A lot of the call center industry fears that AI might actually kind of remove the need for call centers. In terms of language, there is an argument that will AI be able to replace multilingual needs? Will it be able to immediately translate? And I think, as you've suggested before, you can get very good translation within messages now, and that potentially come to voice soon. So where do you see this playing out in the future in terms of AI being able to bridge that language gap?
Yeah. Okay. This is something that everybody is thinking in this field, I think. And for us, yeah, we also uh, pay attention to the trend every day. To us, we are seeing that multilingual can really be quickly solved by the AI. So in messaging field, AI can really make multilingual easily be handled by an unilingual agent or just AI itself. So this is something we are quite much sure that it's coming soon, because now we are also doing something on that. But for voice bot, for voice conversation, I think until today, there's still lots of challenges. For us, when we provide a solution to our clients, we only provide voice bot solution to clients are able to uh, confirm that they have relatively a big chunk of contact volume, because the implementation cost is there, and there is a minimum monthly cost we have to maintain the voice bot programs at the back end. But I'm not so sure after 2 years what's gonna happen. It's AI is coming too quickly.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Like technology that's difficult today is not, to implement, to integrate, to, debug and stop the hallucinations is completely different technology in 3 to 6 months. And it's getting
Yeah.
easier and faster and cheaper, isn't it? So it's pretty scary. But like, what is the state of the nation like today for voice bots then, for, low level customer service inquiries? Is the capability there? Is there lag time that you need to deal with? Hallucinations? Like, how are you seeing it?
We are seeing that hallucination is becoming less and less, and we're also seeing that for low-level inquiries like package looking up, the tracking information looking up, also like a refund. All this basic question and FAQs can be perfectly solved by our Hero Dash AI. So it's definitely not a problem at all nowadays. But for the real transaction, like to do some complex transactions, yes, still, yeah, human being, manpower has to be there, and human need to have higher and higher skill to match the trend, so that humans' value can still be reflected in contact center, and then this will also, in the end, bring the cost down to clients.
Yeah, because of course the tickets remaining for the humans are becoming more and more complex, aren't they? So the humans need to be more and more capable to solve those more complex. And you mentioned costs. Like, is it really significant engineering costs? Because people, I am approached almost daily, certainly weekly, by a new AI company that has said they've solved the call center thing. You no longer need call center agents. We've delivered a solution. But typically, they're hackers. And that means that they have, built this thing over a weekend or a period of weeks. And what I find is it gets to about 80% capability and it's kind of 80% impressive, but there's clearly about 15 to 20% remaining. But to go that extra step to get it 100% capable, reliable, acceptable could take another 5 years of development. You know what I mean? It's kind of easy to get to the 80%. Wow, that's impressive, but it's much harder to get to that level where it's reliable and capable. And do you find that, is that where the real cost comes in, is to really kind of fine tune this stuff?
I totally agree with you, Derek. Yeah, you are saying the same insight that we are discussing internally. We're seeing that 80% although can be replaced by AI, the other 20%, or maybe after a few years 10%, still has to be handled by human being, because some complex issues, and also customers, they need empathy, they need compassion. So I think human being still has to be there. That's our observation.
And do you pretend to be a human, as the bot, or do you declare that you are an AI and, we're going to resolve your issue and let us know if you want to speak to a human? What is the approach in that regard?
Our approach is to we declare. Yeah, we want our customers be aware that you are talking to, a real human being or an AI bot. Yeah, we want our customers be aware of that. But some clients, they may have their own preference. Yeah, if client they have their own preference, then we follow our client's preference.
Yeah, yeah. That's fascinating, isn't it? And how are you charging for this? Because, there are obviously AI costs, in terms of processor costs and stuff like that. But how does it compare to, offshore staffing cost? Is it quite up there at the moment? Is it expensive to run these models?
Yeah, with our practice, we are seeing that for the total cost in the end to our clients, AI is around 10% of the cost of manpower. When I say manpower, we're talking about the offshore operations in Philippines, in South America. So AI is like 10%. And then we are also seeing that the token fee is decreasing gradually, and even drastically with nowadays like DeepSeek and many other solutions may come in very soon. So the token cost will be even less and less. So what we are thinking is that the future pricing model could be by performance, by results, like for example per resolve, for example CSAT improvement or NPS improvement. Yeah, we are working on these parts, and we are trying to figure out if we can provide pricing model in this way.
Right, yeah, because you need to price it. It can't just be a SaaS pricing model because it's going to hollow out your revenues or earning potential, isn't it? So it needs to be based on ticket resolution or value to the client, yeah, which is, as you say, sort of improving CSAT or outcome-based pricing.
Right. Yeah.
That's fascinating. And are you leaning into this then as a business, or is it a bit like a Kodak moment where you're still suggesting staffing and sort of working on this in the lab? How do you see this play out over the next? Because it's all going to happen over the next 5 to 10 years, isn't it?
Yeah, I think maybe even faster is something. It's really a challenge. Yeah, this is something we every day, as I said, we really pay attention to it, and when we talk with our clients, we always be honest. We tell our clients what's the reality and what's the best cost we can do for you in the market with with our manpower solution and the best technology solution we can figure out for you. So we don't want to push our clients to waste cost on the manpower. We want to tell them that, oh, let's go for a balanced way. That you want the customer satisfaction, you also want the cost down. So a combination of AI and the manpower is the best, and the AI part will have more and more percentage, definitely in the next 1 or 2 years.
That's amazing. Jackie, thank you so much. Incredible insights and congratulations on the 21-year journey. Really incredible stuff. As always, I encourage people to reach out and learn more. How can they get in touch with Callnovo?
Sure. Yeah. Callnovo website is www.callnovo.com. That is CALLNOVO, callnovo.com. So yeah, any friends or any clients wanted to reach us, we can be reached at the email info@callnovo.com.
Okay, amazing. We'll put all of that in the show notes. Jackie, thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, Derek. It's our pleasure, and we also hope that we can be more and more exposed to the BPO field in the future through your platform.
Yeah. No, that's I agree on that one. Thank you, Jackie. That was Jackie Shu. He is the CEO and founder of Callnovo. As always, if you want any of these show notes, go to outsourceaccelerator.com/podcast. And if you want to ask us anything, drop us an email to ask@outsourceaccelerator.com. See you next time.
Want to learn more about Callnovo's multilingual customer service? Click the link in the description below or type callnovo.com/request-a-quote into your browser to get your free quote today.